Welcome back to the Footy Lab and weekly report number 6. Before we get into this week's action, here's where the club currently stands. We've still got a healthy coin balance, although it's taken a bit of a hit this week after it decided to throw over 1 million coins at a couple of store packs, and unsurprisingly, got absolutely nothing worthwhile back. I think we've recovered about 200,000 coins worth of fodder, so we'll chalk that up on as a lesson learned. We've also got a sort of mixed tokens balance at the moment. We spent a lot of tokens, the Footies tokens and Champs tokens Tuesday gone. We're now just saving up some of the pre-season tokens as well. And that's actually where we're starting this week, because Season 10 has arrived, bringing a new season pass, new objectives and importantly rewards we can start earning towards FC27. Well, Season 10 has arrived, which means we're officially into pre-season, and some of the rewards we're earning will carry across to FC27. I've also got a token available to unlock the premium pass. Unfortunately, the in-game menu still doesn't seem to like me very much. I could move around the screen but couldn't actually activate anything, so it was back to the web app to get that sorted. We've also got a fresh batch of objectives to work through, including the new pre-season completionist, several weeks content here, ultimately working towards Del Piero with Wilson available during the first stage. A couple of these objectives require Premier League players, so for once we're going to have to allow a few guest appearances in the Middlesbrough squad. We need 3 of them, so we'll bring them in, get the objectives done and then politely show them the door. It's been another busy week for evolutions, although we're definitely at the stage of FC26 where a lot of these are smaller top-ups to cards we've already developed. Players like Matt Target, Fran Kirby have picked up further upgrades this week, but there are 3 players I particularly wanted to focus on. First is Sebastian Berhalter. He's one of Middlesbrough's new summer signings and we've continued developing the card we started working on last week. There's still more to do with him, but he's already developing into a really interesting option in midfield. We've also continued the Will Lankshear project. Again, he's a new Middlesbrough signing. Rather than simply building a typical meta striker, I'm trying to develop him specifically around how I would want him to play. And finally, something completely different. Back to the Silver Age gave us the opportunity to evolve Gary Lineker, and the finished card looks absolutely ridiculous. So rather than just looking at the numbers, I've been using him through division rivals to see how he actually performs in competitive games. So plenty of smaller upgrades this week, but Berhalter, Lankshear and Lineker have definitely been the 3 that have stood out. Division rivals have been a bit of a grind this week. We'd already dropped back into Division 3 with the start of the new season, and although we managed to get the 24 points needed for the weekly rewards or the enhanced rewards, the results themselves have been pretty inconsistent. There have been some incredibly tough games as well. In one match I took a bit of a beating, only to discover afterwards that I'd been playing against someone who was pushing towards Elite Division, so it does feel as though the matchmaking can throw up some pretty significant differences in abilities at times. It probably doesn't help that we're also coming up against teams packed with 98 and 99 rated endgame cards, while I'm still happily turning up with my Middlesbrough evolutions. We did eventually hit our 24 points, but a poor run of results has actually left us back in Division 4. So next week we'll try to climb again, but I'm also increasingly using rivals as somewhere to properly test these evolutions against strong opposition, rather than worrying too much about exactly which division we're sitting in. Well, Champions was a little bit different this week because I decided I simply wasn't going to turn it into a massive grind. We didn't exactly get off to the best start. I lost the opening game, and then in game 2 I was actually leading quite comfortably when the game crashed, giving me a DNF and leaving us 0-2. From there though, things definitely improved. This week I was much more ruthless with how I approached the games. If I went behind and felt like a match wasn't going to turn into anything special, if it was going to be a long and sweaty battle, I was quite happy to take the loss, give my opponent the win and move on to the next one. And interestingly, it didn't really hurt the final result. We worked through the games across Monday and Tuesday and still managed to finish with 8 wins, which is about generally where I'm at anyway, reaching level 3 and picking up another 800 Champs tokens. Could we have pushed for more? Probably, but 8 wins, the tokens in the bank and considerably less frustration feels like a pretty decent result to me. As we get towards the end of FC26, I'm going to spend a little more time looking at how and why some of these tactics actually work, not just which formation to use, but the movement, the roles and the patterns we're trying to create, That's something I really want to take much further when FC27 arrives. And that's it for this week's Footy Lab report. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed it, stop being lazy, leave a comment, hit subscribe, all that YouTube nonsense, and I'll see you next week.